Manito, oche amane pe matsoen, hey ya ho, kinanas kumti na nochi
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hailey Rose Podcast, episode 9. Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a good week. It is Thursday today. I'd just like to acknowledge today that I've been pretty tired, but I want to have a conversation with everyone today. So feel free to, leave some conversations with me, have some conversations with me, leave some comments, whatever you need to do. But first, I just want to ask you guys, how are you feeling? And that's my first questions to you guys is how are you feeling? Because I have been thinking about this lately, about the way that I've been feeling. And, I want other people to know the way that I'm feeling. So just in case, you're feeling that way, that, you're not alone or you're not the only person feeling that way. So, don't be scared to comment and tell me how you're feeling. But I do want to acknowledge that it is Mental Health Awareness Month. The famous May. Guys, I did my hair like the first time in I don't know, since I got it dyed. I got it dyed a while ago and, I had to do it and I think it looks better curled. You guys, let me know if it looks better curled. Took me like half an hour, but it's fine. Checking in from South I Do Not Sue City, Nebraska, homelands of the Omaha Nation. Hello there. So yeah, today when I woke up this morning, I woke up at 12. I woke up at 12:30 today, guys. And the first thing that I did was clean. And I'm not talking like a normal clean, sweeping. I wasn't doing laundry. I'm talking I was on my hands and knees like Cinderella, just scrubbing the walls, scrubbing the tables, everything. And I was and that's what I needed to do. Just waking up and my sister had already mentioned, do you want to clean today? I'm going to clean, do the dishes. And I was I'm in, man. Let's do it. And we cleaned for hours. And I'm telling you, I'm glad I did that. Even though my hands were all wrinkly, old granny wrinkly, it looks great. Thank you. At this moment, I'm feeling content. Wow, that's good. That's good. And you're here feeling content. But yeah, I was cleaning and we had the kids around and we were, I actually didn't have no music. We were kind of just talking and just cleaning and stuff. And it's a form of meditation for me. Cleaning is a form of something where it makes me feel good. It allows me to, get my mind off of things. It allows me to get my head clear so that I don't feel like I'm working in a space that's dirty. Because they do say if you're working in an area that's messy, then you have a messy mind. And so I just want to pull these up because I want to interact with you guys. Feeling great. Starting my podcast really helps with my mental health. I didn't know this month was Mental Health Awareness Month. If anybody needs to talk, I'm here for y'all. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Be sure to tune in to his podcast. If you want to leave a link, do that because we will all literally watch your podcast. As Indigenous people, we got to support one another. David, good evening from San Elizario, Texas. Is that Texas? I have no idea. I'm feeling tired, but good. Yes, I know. I'm feeling pretty tired too. Feeling native. Yep, always that. But anyways, so I finished cleaning around, I would say, like 4:30, maybe 4:35, and I was sitting on the couch and I was tired, I was like drained. I was like, man, like I did a lot of cleaning today because I just had to. And I hadn't showered yet, I hadn't gotten ready for the day yet. Um and I was sitting there and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, I have something to do today, and I don't really remember what. And then my sister mentioned, like, what are you going to do for your podcast? And I was like, oh no, like I have my podcast. And I felt bad, right? I felt bad because I should know that I have my podcast every Thursday, and I didn't remember. And, of course I kind of beat myself up there for a moment because like I was like, you should have known that you had a podcast today, Hailey. And I was like, well, I didn't even like brainstorm. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I have no idea what I'm going to share with my viewers today. And I was just sitting there in the clothes that I was wearing last night. And I was just like, I had a long week. And, I've been home for this past week, and, it's been finals, right? Where I'm still in high school. I'm only 18 years old. And I've been doing a lot of homework lately, and I was so focused on doing my homework, right? Getting those assignments in, right? Because I want to get a good mark. And I overworked myself. I really did, because I was so focused on doing my work, getting it done, making my teacher proud, making my teacher happy, and in trying to accomplish myself, trying to accomplish my own needs and my own wants, because, I want a good mark. And I ended up sleeping like a long time because I just burnt myself out. I was overworking myself way too hard, and I wasn't taking that time to like relax and really just focus on myself, right? Like that self-love and that self-care. Here's the link, guys. Go check that out. Not right now. Just kidding. But yeah, and I was like just sitting on the couch, and I was like, I don't know if I should do my podcast. And the first thing that I had done was I picked up my phone, and I was messaging my friend, and I was like, I have no energy. Like I woke up this morning and I was cleaning, and now I'm like tired, right? Like I don't want to do anything, and I want to do my podcast. Like I really want to do it because it makes me feel good. It allows me to have conversations and allows me to be me, and like, like things that I love to do. And in the back of my head, like it was telling me like, you should do it, Hailey. But my body was like telling me no. Like my body was telling me that, you don't have any energy, like you aren't ready for it, like you haven't prepared yourself. And in a way, I was like actually beating myself up because I knew that I should have, been prepared, right? Be professional and get that stuff done. But that motivation wasn't there. And I had messaged my friend Jade, she's my best friend and I love her. And I was talking to her, and she was on Snapchat. Hey, she always sends me videos. Like we don't ever call or FaceTime. Like we'll literally send videos on Snapchat, like minute-long videos, 2-minute-long videos, doesn't matter. And like I'll literally sit there and watch. And she was like, maybe you should talk about the way that you feel, not being motivated, not having that energy, but also the fact that you love doing podcast, Hailey. Like you love doing that. And you guys out there, maybe you love doing something so much, but sometimes you don't have that energy to do it as much as you want to do it. You just don't have that energy or feel like you have that time to do it. And she was making me realize these things as I was, sitting on the couch there. And I was like, she's right. She's right, because I love doing podcasts. And I was like, it's all up to me. Like I can't rely on anybody else to like give me that motivation, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about me. It has to be myself that says, Hailey, you got to do this. You got to get it done. You love doing it. And I was like, thinking about the feeling, that accomplishing feeling that I get when I do something, right? When you do something that you love, when you do a workout, or maybe you do a run, or you go on a walk, or you go play your sport, and that feeling that you get after you do it, you're like, oh, like I feel good. Like I'm glad I did that. Water and fruit and eating light is good if you can't get a proper meal. Yeah. And that's another thing. I realized that I hadn't even ate. I was like, I need to get some food in me. I had eaten breakfast at like 2. I was like, sometimes, no, not gonna lie, I like eating breakfast as supper. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'll be like, what should I eat? And I'll make bacon and eggs and like hash browns or sausages, and I'll eat it for supper because I don't know, I like it. Like, it's breakfast for supper. Sometimes that's where it's at. But what I was going to say is that I was burning myself up from school and from work and from, my peers, and always helping other people, or, hanging out with my family too much. And I wasn't taking that time for myself, right? That time to just relax, that time to focus on you, do the things that you like to do the things that make you feel good. And in that moment, I had to change my mindset. I had to change my mindset from all those negative thoughts to the positive thoughts, right? Instead of saying, oh, it's not going to matter if you miss a podcast this week. Like, it's not going to matter. Like, you're going to be there next week and do one, and it's going to be awesome. I had to tell myself that if I did it tonight, like, I would feel really good. I would feel accomplished. Look, I allowed myself to get ready. If I hadn't done this podcast, I probably wouldn't have, done something for myself. I wouldn't have done my hair. I wouldn't have gotten dressed. I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't have, anything. And so I had to remember those things. I had to remind myself that if I had done the podcast, or if I had gotten ready for the day, how it was going to make me feel, right? And I see myself doing this in a lot of situations, and a lot of people ask me, how do you get that motivation? Because, with COVID right now, we're all struggling, in our own ways, whether we like to talk about it or not. And I want to have this conversation, especially because it is Mental Health Awareness Month. But people are asking, like, how do you get that motivation, or how do you like drive? Like, waking up in the morning is hard to do for like a lot of us. And I'm such a busy person, hey? Like, I always try to keep myself busy, and right now I'm not able to do that, right? I'm at home right now. And just being able to get up in the morning, that's really important, to just get up in the morning instead of laying in my bed for like an hour, whether I'm scrolling through TikTok, whether I'm watching YouTube, or I'm looking at Facebook posts. I notice sometimes that I have a hard time, getting up in the morning quickly, like fast, instead of just sitting there for an hour or for half an hour, scrolling through Snapchat or whatever it is. I find myself that I'm actually like laying there instead of getting up and going to shower or going to eat. I'm like not doing those things. And so when I wake up, I remember like, okay, you got to eat because you got to get that energy. You got to get that energy, Hailey. You got to get to it. You got to go. I'm just kidding. Hailey's so extra. That's your heart is the greatest reflection of what you enjoy. That's that feeling you get once you get through it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I want to keep that up for you guys. But motivating myself and thinking about, and I think that's the best advice that I could give other people, is how is it going to make you feel after you get it done? How is it going to make you feel after you shower? You're going to feel clean, right? You're not going to feel all greasy and all dirty. How is it going to make you feel after you eat like a really good like breakfast or lunch? You're going to get that energy to go throughout your day. Or how is it going to make you feel if you finish your work, if you get all your homework done, if you finish an essay or whatever it is? How is that going to make you feel? And And I think that's what, at the end of the day, when I look at, what I've done in my day or throughout my week, I always remember like how it made me feel, right? Instead of just laying down, instead of, being lazy or not doing something that I know I should have done, I remember like, I had a good day today. And I had a good day because I did stuff. Like I got up and, I was talking to my friends and I was checking up on them, or, I went on a walk, or I went to school. And even that, going to school, going to work is hard because you are so drained, you're so tired. And I always remind myself, because I've always had really, really big dreams for myself, but for all of the people around me, right? I've always had big dreams for myself. I can't say always, I've recently had lots of goals and lots of dreams for myself. And I remember, like, if you continue to do this, Hailey, if you continue to do those things that you're supposed to be doing, if you're getting up in the morning, if you're, getting your work done, if you're working out or whatever it is, you're going to work towards that goal. You're going to work towards that dream, that whatever dream you have, whatever ambition that you may have, whatever inspires you to get there, you're going to get there because you're putting the work. You're putting the work in to accomplish whatever dream or whatever goal that you may have. And me being young, right? Like, I'm still young, like, and a lot of people will, say like, or think that I'm older than I am, but I always remember that I made myself that way, right? And instead of relying on other people to get me to where I am, or to get me to my dreams, or to, spoon feed me to get me to wherever my next destination might be, I have to remember that at the end of the day, it's all up to me and it's all up to you. Because no matter what, it's whatever you're thinking in your head. Because people could tell you, right? People could tell you, you can do it. You can do it, Hailey. You can get it done and you're going to accomplish everything in your life. You can do it. I'm supporting you, right? People could tell you that. But you might not actually believe it, or you might not actually want to do it. You might not actually want to put in the work behind it, right? You could say to people, oh, I'm going to get it done. Like, yeah, man, I'm going to get there. And then it doesn't happen. But remembering and thinking to yourself in your head and reminding yourself, like, this is what you want. And if you want it, you got to work for it. And then you got to work hard, man. You got to think about the people around you who are working 3 times harder than you might actually be. The people who probably don't have that much in their life, probably people who aren't even as privileged as me, right? Because I can say, like, I'm privileged. I have a good roof over my head. I have a phone. I have access to school, right? And I have to remember, like, there are people out there working very, very hard for the things that they want in life. And I think that's another thing that is motivating me too, is that I got to work 3 times harder because I don't know who might be getting there before me. Just kidding. But during COVID right now, I'm so used to like traveling, right? Because that's what I do and that's what I love. I love to travel. I love to meet new people. I love new opportunities. I love, meeting other people, and that's what I do for my job, right? That's what I do for my work, and I can't do that because of COVID right now. And so, of course, that's draining, and it beats me up sometimes because that's the stuff that keeps me going, right? That's the stuff that makes me happy, makes me feel good. And for other people, there might be some things out there too that you're not able to do, right? Like, especially going out to see your friends all the time, or maybe it's like you can't even go to work right now because you're laid off. And am I like glitching? Okay, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm good. But it's been hard because COVID is like restricting me from doing the things that I love, and doing it from home can be very hard for me because I'm such an outdoor person, right? I forget what that word is called. What is that word called when you're always at home? Come on, guys. Come on, guys, help me. What's that word called when you're always at home, or like you're an outside body? Ex ex exa exa Somebody help me here because I'm lost. But anyways, I'm like that body that always likes to be outside. I'm that person who always, likes to be out in the sun, likes to get stuff done. And so being in the house all the time, it can really take a toll on me. And I know that it can take a toll on everybody else just as much as me. But that's the time when you got to worry about your mental health. You got to start thinking about, are you feeling good? Like, do you feel good? Are you happy with the way that, you're going with your days? Are you feeling good about the way that you feel about yourself? Are you feeling good about the things that you're doing, right? If you're not doing that work, if you're not going to school, or if you're not interacting with your friends or family, that can take a really big toll on you. And so lately I've been like, trying to focus on that, trying to remember like, how it makes me feel when I, interact with my friends, right? When I'm talking to my friends, or whether I call them, or, when I go to school, because I had been missing a lot of school. I gotta admit, I was missing a lot of school, and all for the right reasons. No, I was missing school because I didn't have the motivation. And I'm not gonna say I skipped. I did not skip because I did the work. I did the work, so I did not skip. Because if you were gonna skip, you wouldn't have done the work. But even that, like, I couldn't go to school because I didn't want to surround myself around other people. And that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing that I did. And so I was like, get to school. And as soon as I was like, getting out of the door and getting up in the morning, right? Getting up in the morning to go to school is really big for me, right? Because you got to be at school by 9 a.m. So I'm already obligated to shower in the morning, to get ready, to change, to eat and whatnot. And I had to remember, like, Hailey, don't forget like the things that you do that make you happy. Don't forget the things at the end of the day that bring you that joy, right? Or that help you move towards whatever dream or whatever goal that you have in life. And I'm surprised. Because nobody has asked me what my dreams or my goals are. Like, nobody wants to know what Hailey Rose's dreams or goals are. Which is okay. But it was funny because when I reached that point where I burn myself out, or I reach that point where, of course you lose that motivation, or you lose that drive that you have to whatever it may be, people don't even know, right? I don't complain to other people, or I don't tell people like, oh, I'm not doing this lately, Hailey, or I'm not doing this. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem because there are so many other people out there right now, as I'm talking to you guys, who probably feel like, they're losing their self, or they're not at their right headspace right now, or they're not even feeling like themselves lately. And I know that I'm not the only one. And I know that because, I'm always checking up on my friends. I'm like, have a good day, man. Have a good day. How are you feeling today? How was your day? How's your day going? I love you. I support you. I'm always going to be here like all the time because, when I used to feel that way, or sometimes, the odd moment, the one day out of the month when I'm feeling burnt out or I'm not feeling like myself, I forget to tell other people. And for that short amount of time, it gets a little lonely, and you kind of beat yourself up because you're like, nobody knows, like nobody's going to understand, or I don't want people to know, right? And especially like with people who have big platforms, or people who are influencers, or people who, are a little bit more well known than other people. They're always a little bit more worried about what they're telling other people, because they don't want other people to think differently about them. And I'm never like, shy to express that part of me, because I know it's a part of life. I know everyone goes through it. I know I'm not the only one who, has bad days. I'm not the only one who randomly starts crying for no reason. I know I'm not the only one. Ooh, I think there's an uncle over there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, as I'm fixing my hair, guys. Anyways, but I'm not the only one who feels that way. And so making sure that you're checking up on those people that you love, those people that always check up on you, and you forget to check up on them too, because when I was younger and I was constantly like, checking up on my friends or supporting them, checking in on their days, low key, I was going through something. I was like going through something. And, of course it made me feel better doing that. But for a moment there, like they forgot to ask me like how I was feeling. Hailey, how are you feeling? So, that was a little difficult, but I want to remind you guys, check up on one another. COVID is like been here. COVID's been here and it's probably going to stay here. So I don't know. As you grow, those things that bring you joy or happiness change to so continue to explore your every interest. Yeah. I like that. I like this. Omaha Play. Omaha Play. Is that your real name? That's a really cool name, not gonna lie, if that's your name. As you grow, those things that bring you joy or happiness change too. Relationships, guys. Keep those relationships strong. Remind yourself, because those relationships, whether they bring you like some bad things, some good things, at the end of the day, those are the things that keep you going, right? Relationships with friends, relationships with parents, relationships with any sort of your family, relationships with whoever, ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. I'm just kidding. But I think and I was feeling like this today, and that's why I had to explain it to you guys, not really explain it to you guys, but I had to kind of go in depth, right? Sometimes I might feel like I went into too much depth on this podcast, but being real, right? And not holding in those feelings that you may be feeling, whether you're upset, whether you're mad, whether you're angry, or you had a good day. Maybe you had a real awesome day and you want to tell your family about it or your friends. Do it. Do it, because don't keep it all into yourself, man. That's how bottles Hailey's getting too extra here. Anyways, real. Recognize real. But I hope you guys took away some things that I had, mentioned today in this podcast. Remember to check up on your loved ones. Remember to motivate yourself in the morning. Get up in the morning. Go shower. If you're dirty, go shower those feet. Or, if you're lacking that motivation too, feel free to reach out to your friends. But always remember that you can do it yourself. And I tell myself that all the time. I always tell myself, Hailey, it's all up to you, right? How's it going to make you feel? Remember that. How is it going to make you feel after you do whatever you have to do in that day? You might not want to go to school. You might not want to go to work. But how is it going to make you feel after you do it? You're going to feel like, okay, I have no more homework to do. Or maybe you don't want to go work out. Man, I've been lacking too. And, you have to remind yourself, it's a really good feeling when you get it done. It really is. And I think that's the thing that is the biggest, hardest bullet to bite sometimes, but it's always up to you, right? Remember how it's going to make you feel. Remember how at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you accomplished a lot more than just beating yourself up and making yourself feel poopy because you didn't do it. Hailey's advice today, just do it. Just do it, guys. Please, just do it. Whether you want it or not, just do it. I'm low-key looking out the window because I don't know. It's getting to me, but Mental Health Awareness Month, guys. Don't forget to do something for yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of your heart, your mind, your soul, your body. Take care of yourself. This is what we need right now. With COVID right now, this is super, super important. And don't forget, if anybody ever needs, support, if anybody else out there needs help, there's always somebody out there like me, like Hailey Rose, who will offer a helping hand, who will offer some guidance in any way that you need. So don't keep those feelings in, and acknowledge the way that you're feeling lately. Acknowledge your good days, acknowledge your bad days, and remember that tomorrow's a new day. And I'm really looking in the camera here. Tomorrow's a new day, and tomorrow is always a new beginning. So if you have a bad day, let it be a bad day. Let it be a bad day, because tomorrow you're going to wake up and it's going to be a new day to get started and do what you love. Aho. We love this. Yes, check in with your loved ones, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. Yeah, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about the way that you're feeling, guys. COVID is stressful, and it's still affecting me. Every time I get a snot, not a snotty nose, like a runny nose or like an itchy throat, I'm like, do I have COVID? And I'm like, no. But like, it's allergy season, guys. Don't forget, like if you're walking by someone, they're sneezing or they have like a runny nose, let's just say like it probably could be, allergies, because sometimes I have to hold in my sneezes or something. And I'm like, people are going to think I have COVID. And there's probably people out there too. Hey, like you'll be walking, and you're like, oh, I got to sneeze. And then you're like, nah, like people are going to think that you have COVID. So don't do it. But I find myself doing that all the time. So that's okay. That's okay. But I just wanted to say that to you guys. I really hope that you took something away from this. And feel free to message me if you have some, oh my gosh, my chair is breaking. If you have some advice or some feedback about anything, feel free to message me. If you have any ideas for anything that you may want me to talk about, I will. And, I think it's important that we're sticking together and we're in this together. We're supporting one another. Get your stuff done. Go to work, go to school. I feel like a parent. Like I don't live with my parents anymore, hey? And so like I'm my own parent. Like I'm my own person to remind myself, get it done. I get it done. And with school right now too, I was beating myself up because I had received a lower mark than I wanted, right? I worked really hard for 3 days straight because I was stressing about getting those assignments done, even though those assignments are supposed to be done. But I got them done, and my average went down, guys, when I handed in the assignments. I got like 90s on, so I'm like, what's going on here? Because I handed in those assignments, and my average went down. Odd. They'll hate you because they ain't you, guys. But that's all I had to say today. But thank you guys for watching. Next week, I think I'm going to have a really important and a really deep discussion about mental health, just for Mental Health Awareness Month. And I know that a lot of people will want to have this conversation, so I'm going to try, hopefully have a guest on who maybe, what's that word? Who maybe professionalizes or, is professional in this field about mental health, because I want to have this conversation and I want to spread that knowledge and spread that support and that love to everyone out there. So, be sure to tune into next week's podcast. But, thank you guys for tuning in today and interacting with me too. That's really important. And, I'm such a talkative person. I could go on for days and days. I did the most. Wait. Whoa. Okay. I'm getting weird now. So I gotta end it here. But, thank you guys for tuning in. And, for the rest of this week, remember, how's it going to make you feel after you get it done, and support one another, and take care of yourself, right? Be kind to yourself. Like Brennan said, be kind to yourself. Acknowledge the good days, acknowledge the bad days. But with that, I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful, blessed rest of your week, because I know you will. With that, guys, I'm going to have to say peace and love. Mwah.